Hi everybody, Nicole Whip here again, Healthy Success 101. Thanks for joining me here again. So today I am here in Detroit at the National Women's Business Enterprise Council event. It's the national conference. There's women business owners and other business owners from all over the country here today, and even from across the river over here in Canada. And I just got out of a session with Disney, and they're talking about how they lead with their values. And I wanted to share something that really struck me about that particular presentation. They talked about a lot of things, and I don't want to get into all of them, but one of the things that she talked about was how Walt Disney said that people can feel perfection. And when she was talking about that, she was illustrating a story about how when Walt Disney was in one of the rides, or whatever they are, what are they?
Tiki.
The Tiki Room specifically, okay, that he was looking at these birds that were up on the thing, and he said, but you can't see them breathe. And the engineers were like, what do you mean you can't see them breathe? He's like, you can't see these birds breathe. And they said, well, so what? And he said, well, people can feel perfection. And I thought about that because that's something that I realized is really important to me as well, but I never had really thought about it. Like, they call it operationalizing excellence, or operationalizing your values. And so when you think about what does that mean to operationalize your values, like what do you do as a company, what are you doing as a leader that you first of all are saying these are the values of what my company is about, who we are as a people, who we are culturally, but then what are you doing operationally that's going to make that change? And so, you know, the example there is that Walt Disney had the Imagineers create birds that actually were breathing, like you can see them. Now, it may not be a detail that everybody's going to notice, but it certainly is something that subconsciously people will notice. And we were talking about it as a team, like what is one of the things that we do, and this is, you know, nowhere near on the scale, we're nowhere near Disney, but like one of the silly things that we do to operationalize excellence is we put a stamp on an envelope when we send out something to our clients so that they can just return it to us. We try to make it as easy as possible on the client to just do an action. And that's just a very simple thing. Like, they may not actually think to themselves, oh, wow, that's cool that they made it so easy on me, that they put this stamp on here for me and all I need to do is just put this thing back in and send it. They may not really consciously notice it, but subconsciously it's a very small way that we can operationalize excellence. And I mean, that's just one minor detail. There's a million examples that I could give you, but I love that, and it just reminded me, probably one of the things that I'm going to do as soon as we leave this conference next week is schedule a date for my team and I to once again sit down and have what we call development days, which are the days that we are here to operationalize excellence. So what are you doing to operationalize excellence? I'd love to hear it. Share in the comments below. Thanks for joining me.